Hello all, welcome to this video where I'll be showing you how to deploy Appsmith on our private instance using Docker. So before starting with the installation part, I would like to give a brief introduction about what is Appsmith. So this is the official documentation page of Appsmith and you can look at the introduction which is given here. So according to the introduction, we can see that the Appsmith is a low-code open source framework to build internal applications. Basically, it is a framework which can help which once set up on our local device. It is very easy to set up Appsmith, which we will be looking on later in this video. So once it is set up on your local device, it is very easy to create various kinds of applications using Appsmith. So with their Java based virtual means JavaScript based virtual development platform, build CRUD apps, dashboards, admin panels, and many more 10 times faster. Also, you can use their pre-built UI widgets, connect them to your APIs and databases to build dynamic apps and complex workflows. And what is the best part? You can deploy these apps on the technology you prefer, that is self-host for free. So it is very useful and it is very popular among developers these days. So today what we are going to do is we are going to set up or deploy AppSmith on our private instance using Docker. So I have also written a blog on this. Links I'll be posting in the description, so don't worry. In this video, I'll be going to share with you how step by step you can do all the processes. So also you may want to refer to the actual guide here. So there are various ways to set up AppSmith. So there are various guides like Docker. It is recommended also because it is very easy to install and set up everything. You can use Kubernetes, AWS AMI, DigitalOcean. This is also very easy method. I have also written a blog on how to set up AppSmith on DigitalOcean. So I'll be sharing the links to the blogs in the description. So don't worry. And also a Heroku guide. So let's see that how we can do with Docker. So Docker, if you don't know what a Docker is an open platform for developing, shipping, and running applications. So with Docker, you can manage your infrastructure in the same ways as you manage your application. So as a prerequisite for this video, you need to have Docker a version recommended is 20.10.7 or later, and Docker Compose of version 1.29.2 or later. You can also see the prerequisites given on the official documentation website that Docker is required and Docker Compose is required. Don't worry if you don't have Docker already on your machine. You can very well install it. You just need to go to Docker Hub or maybe just install Docker. So once you go there, install Docker, you can see that various platforms are present on which you can install on Windows, CentOS, Fedora, RHEL, Ubuntu, other Linux distributions. So basically I'm using Ubuntu and I have Docker as well as Docker Compose installed. So how do I check if I already have them installed or not? Just write Docker V. So you can see that I have the Docker version 20.10.8, which is fine as per the prerequisite, which is 20.10.7. So I have 20.10.8 of built this, and also Docker Compose. If you do, you can see it's the same. Okay, so we need Docker Compose. I'm so sorry. We have to do basically this. Yeah, so this is Docker Compose version 1.29.2, which is fine. So we need 1.29.2 or later, and we have 1.29.2. So it is basically fine. So we are done with the prerequisites. Once you're ready with these prerequisites, we're good to go. So now one more thing, that it is recommended to create an installation folder which is called Appsmith. So we're using the name Appsmith because it becomes easier to find it in many folders, because on your system you might be having different kinds of folders. So it becomes easy to locate a particular folder if we name it to a particular name. So it is recommended to create an installation folder called Appsmith, so that our Appsmith installation and data are all stored at a single place. So here I am having one folder which is called Appsmith copy. So I'll just cd to desktop. If I just go to the desktop and if I list all the files, so you can see there's an Appsmith. Basically, this I had created earlier when I was installing Appsmith, but for this video, I'm going to show you everything. So we'll just create a folder called Appsmith on desktop. So see, it's already created. Then we need to move to that folder. Yeah, so we are inside here and we have nothing in the Appsmith folder. Now, after doing this, the next step is the next step we can follow two paths. One, we can use it a Docker Compose, and another path is without using Docker Compose. So here we are going to go through both the methods of deploying Appsmith on our private instance. So let us first start with method one, which is a quick start with Docker Compose. So for this, we need to download a docker compose.yml file, and we need to put that file in the Appsmith folder which we had created just now. So if you go to the official documentation page, you will find that there is a binary file, docker compose.yml, that is 505 bytes in size. So you need to download this file and place it inside this Appsmith folder. So I have already created that file. I'll show you in Appsmith copy. I already have this file, so I'm just gonna copy and paste it to my new folder, which is Appsmith. So I'm done. But if you don't have, like I am supposing that you're not having the binary file, so you can download it very easily from this link. I'll mention the link in the description to the official documentation site, so you do not have to worry about this. Now, if you don't want to download this file, you can just run the following command, which is present here. If you are on a remote machine, so this is very important, like if you are on a remote machine, then only just use this command, otherwise you have to download the file. But I am assuming that most of us are on a remote machine, so we can just run this command and we can very well proceed with the further steps. But for now, I have downloaded the file, so let us skip this command and move to the next step. The next step is to uh, bring the Docker container up. So basically, we are using this as a Docker image, and by building and running the by building the image and running the container, we can run Appsmith on our local server. So our next step is to bring the Docker container up. So it can be done by running the following command: docker compose up d. So what this command does, that it will pull and download all the required Docker images and start the services. So if you're doing it for the first time, then it will take a little bit more time. Like if you're a little familiar with Docker, you might know that if we build an image for the first time, it takes more time because it needs to pull all the image and download all the uh, necessary images and all the necessary requirements. But if we are using it repeatedly, then it takes lesser time because it stores the image inside the environment. So I have already done this once, so might be it take lesser time. So I'm just going to paste the command, and from the same folder, from the Appsmith folder, So I'm just going to hit enter and let's see. Yeah, so you can see it is just starting Appsmith, but this was not the thing when I did it for the first time. You can see I have shared a screenshot. So when I used this for the first time, this was what it actually did. It it was pulling everything, it was downloading, it was extracting, and unluckily my net was also slow at that time, so it took quite a lot of time for the first time when I did it. And after that it created Appsmith, and then it created like everything auto update and all. But now I already have it. I have all the instances and all the requirements. So yeah, so it is running fine. So it has done it very fast. Okay, so our next step would be to, let's see what is the next step. So as you can see, also if you want to check, you can check that a new container would be running on your system. So if for checking for containers, you can just do docker ps. And if you do docker ps, so you can see on my system there are two containers. Like one was 12 hours ago, which I did for the first time when I was doing, and then one is a recent one. Yeah, so up about a minute. So both are the same containers which I was using previously to uh, deploy Appsmith using Docker. So you can check the status of your containers using the docker ps command. Okay, so let us now move to the next step. So once all the images are downloaded and the container is running, then you can check the logs with the following command, which is docker logs dash f appsmith. So you can check the logs with this command. And if you check the logs now, I should do a full screen so that you can do it. You can look properly. So just see what it did that Appsmith running. It displayed a message called Appsmith is running, which means that we have successfully deployed Appsmith on our private instance using the Docker. And yes, it is done. Your Appsmith server should be up and running now. You can access it on localhost. Okay, so let us check whether it is deployed successfully or not. So we need to go to localhost. If you just go to localhost, you can see that it is working properly, and also you can check all the logs here. So yeah, you can see that it has joined the room and it is running successfully. So this was the first method of using Appsmith, of deploying Appsmith on private instance using Docker. Now we'll look at the method 2 of deploying Appsmith using Docker. So this is to explore Appsmith without using Docker Compose. This is also a simple method of deploying Appsmith by the use of Docker in just two simple steps. So in order to use this method, you do not need to do anything. Like in the first method, what we did, we downloaded the file, then we brought the Docker container up. But in this method, what you need to do, you just need to copy this command and you just need to paste it in your terminal. And after that, if you check the logs, it will return the same message, that is Appsmith is running. And if you go to localhost, you can find that Appsmith is actually running. So it was so easy. Also, if you go to the official documentation, you can find some additional links as well, like this thing we did quick start with Docker Compose in the video earlier. Then we explored Appsmith without Docker Compose, that is by using this command. Just copy paste this command. There's nothing, absolutely nothing required. Just copy and paste, and trust me, Appsmith will be up and running on your local instance. And also, there's an additional resource on the official documentation page, that is restarting the containers. So you can go through these. Also, there is some further reading, tutorials on how to do guides and debugging errors, some FAQs. So you have everything in your hand. It was so simple. Now, what are you waiting for? Just go ahead and start creating your applications using AppSmith. And now you know how to set it up on your local machine without any complexity. So that was it. That was about this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope that I was able to help you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Bye.